Hi, I'm Anthony O'Flynn. I'm here to assist you in transforming your inner landscape and support you on your journey of awakening. What is the eternal now? What is the significance of the now moment, the eternal now, in the ongoing paradigm shift in the awakening that we're currently experiencing on planet Earth? Well, in my previous video, I was referring to this displacement in time, these time slippages, and this video I'll explore at a deeper level the relationship between the time slippages and the eternal now. This is basically a state of presence. The two are actually occurring separately, but at the same time there is a direct relationship between the two. To have these time slippages occurring and also to experience this eternal now moment are actually synonymous. And by that, I am referring to the fact that when we are actually experiencing this state, we're actually taken out of this linear time, which is expressed in past, present, future. But similarly, we're taken out of this linear expression of the mind. And by that, I'm referring to the idea that we have thoughts that are essentially sequential. Now, this is very significant because the sequential thoughts are directly related to the linear experience of time. And by that, I mean that we're having thoughts which we are continually thinking. There is a progression. And this progression of thoughts in the mind is directly related to this experience of past, present, future. So when we are actually removed from this linear experience of time, we are then tuning into this state of pure consciousness, a state of presence. And by this, I'm referring to a part of our being which all of us have, and all of us have the ability to connect with this state continually. And in many ways, it's an extremely simple spiritual practice, but also actually very advanced because of the discipline and the ongoing state that is needed to generate this state of pure awareness. It's there, but we need to continually access it. And by that, I'm referring to something that is beyond the mind. From the traditional view of the chakras, we have Ajna as being related to the mind, this third eye. And then we have Sahasrara, the crown chakra, which is related to pure awareness, pure consciousness. Part of our being that doesn't change. It is unchangeable. It is immutable. It is, in essence, eternal. So I'm referring to this part of our being that is beyond the mind. Some people would, as an analogy, refer to it as something that sits behind the mind. This is perhaps not true in any way, but it can give some ease to understand this concept. Now, this expression that the thoughts that we have are the clouds, that the clouds are coming and going. They are changing shape, changing structure, and so on. And yet, behind the clouds, there is the sky. The sky is eternal. The sky never changes. The sky simply is. So when we connect with this eternal now, we're actually aligning with the present moment, which takes us out of this, sometimes this regret of the past and this fear or anxiety of the future, and simply funnels us into this moment where we have the ability to act and to experience life in its fullness. Because if we are walking around doing our daily tasks and we're simply lost in our mind, it's actually a form of numbness, a feeling of being actually asleep. We're actually not aware as to what is going on, what we're experiencing, tuning into our senses, and of course connecting with this present moment, which automatically takes us out of the past and the future. And yet what's important to understand is that the mind is simply ruminating, and very often this rumination, it doesn't actually help solve any of the problems, particularly if they're obviously from the past or the future, because it actually takes us out of this essential ability to act and align ourselves with the present moment, giving us a fundamental state of acceptance and accepting what is. And the reality is that this moment is unchangeable. Whatever is occurring is simply occurring, and we should work with these conditions, work with these circumstances, because it is in essence reality itself. So to be opposed to what is actually occurring in our life moment to moment is essentially to be against reality and to actually be opposed to our life itself. And yet very often this is the state that humanity is in today in so many circumstances, so many daily situations that we find ourselves in. So this state of displacement, of the paradigm shift to be aligned, this time displacement to be aligned with the present moment, is very, very important in this transformation of our consciousness. And I have also noticed myself that I have been experiencing this particularly a lot at night time. And by that, I'll wake up in the morning or during the night and the mind will be completely in the present moment. It will be frozen. I'm not talking about being calm or being relaxed or doing a meditation. I'm talking about a deeper level of simply mind being frozen and being completely in this state of presence. So if you're experiencing this, my tip for you to stay with this experience is not to analyze it. Don't think it. Don't try to amplify it. Don't try to stop it, because the minute that you try to do those things, you're engaging the mind and you're removing yourself from the present moment and taking yourself out of this reality, which is a very high state of consciousness. So when you notice this, and this is part of the shift, so many people will start to experience this more and more and more, because this is a fundamental aspect of this transformation, is simply to allow it to be. To simply, in essence, surf it like a wave. Be with the wave. Flow with the wave. Merge with the wave. And allow this state to become deeper and more stabilized. It's a very powerful state of consciousness, and it aligns us with the now, and it's also very purifying, because it's more of our essence. We're connecting to a deeper part of who we really are. The mind has its functions, it's very useful, it has certain applications, but when we connect with the now, we're actually connecting to this state which we can call the observer, the witness consciousness, the true I, which is a deeper essence of our being, which in this way transcends the mind, and it actually lessens our attachment or our relationship, or transforms our relationship with the ego, because it's more of the essence of our being. So this state of the now, coming through the upper chakras, particularly Sahasrara, crown chakra, and this ability to connect with the now constantly in our daily actions, even if we don't have a lot of time for spiritual practice, we're busy with our commitments, with our responsibilities. Tune into the now, be part of the now, be the observer, be the witness, be the watcher. It's in essence this eternal witness, this pure consciousness, this pure awareness that is the solution to many of our problems if we're having suffering from these mental landscapes that we create and we actually fuel. And in this way we can see that in some ways we're actually attached to our suffering. And this practice of mindfulness, ultimately tuning into the present moment, transforms our neural architecture and gives us the capacity to be more resilient, to be more present, to be more allowing, and to align ourselves with the present moment. And this is essentially the eternal now. Thanks for watching, and as always, if you're watching this, you are the shift.